Hello. Candidates, there has been a lot of disturbance affairs under, say, computer knowledge we studied, but now I'll be discussing with you some, say, synonym, antonym of various important words. The word is decipher, DECIPHER. The word is DE, I have to type it out here, DE DECIPHER of the word decipher. The meaning is to convert, to succeed in understanding, interpreting, or identifying something. There is one more synonym also for the word decipher, that is perceive, comprehend. Supposing it is used in a sentence, the signature was smudged and impossible to decipher. That means in a bank officer, verifying signature was smudged. That means not clear and impossible to decipher. Decipher means what? To understand, to perceive, to comprehend. What is the antonym of this? Opposite of this? Scramble or distort. Scramble or distort is the opposite of this particular word. Next word we will take up is a very simple word that is known as trip up. TRIP. Trip up is the word. And what is the meaning of the word trip up? It is to make a mistake or to cause someone to make a mistake. To make someone to make a mistake. What are the synonyms of this? Bring down or go wrong. The use in sentences is, I have never known him to trip up even in details. I have never known him to trip up even in details. Make a mistake. The synonym of that is bring down, go wrong. Opposite is do well and also assist. Next one is quite an easy word, is that deem. It's nothing, very simple. Deem. The word deem, what is the meaning of the word deem? Regard to or consider in a specified way. What are the synonyms for this? Judge, believe, think. These are the usages. She did not deem gently of the matter. She did not deem gently of the matter. That is, she did not consider the matter gently. I deem this to be a privilege to teach you. I deem it as a privilege. So that means I consider it something worthful. So likewise, the opposite of the word deem is just opposite of deem is that disregard or ignore, not considering it as important. On contention. Next is contention. CONTENTION. Contention is the word, and the usage in sentence I will tell you first. There is no evidence to support our contention. There is no evidence to support our contention. What is the meaning of that? Contention, heated disagreement. Heated disagreement, or an synonym is conflict or dispute or discord. Contention means to fight with, to argue with. Antonyms of that is affection, peace, friendship. affection, peace, PEACE, friendship. The use in sentence I already told you. There is no evidence to support our contention. Next question, next word is also not a tough one. Contravene. What is the what is the sentence used for this contravene? I will read that first. That is, do not do whatever may contravene the law of the country. Don't do whatever may contravene the law of the country. The meaning of the word contravene is it's a verb. Contravene is a verb. The meaning is to offend against to conflict with a right or in principle, etc. Or in other words, the synonym of that is contradict, that is to oppose, and to violate, that is contravening. Antonym of that is agree, endorse, permit. Agree, endorse, permit. Contravene means to object to anything, to do something against what has been told. Opposite of that is agree, endorse, and then it's a simple word, infringe. INFRINGE. Infringe is the word. And for that, the sentence I will read first. The restrictions infringe upon basic human rights. The restrictions infringe upon basic human rights. Actually, the meaning of the word infringe is that to undermine. That means not giving importance. Undermine, the word we saw earlier. And another meaning of that is actively break the terms of. Act so as to limit or undermine. This is infringe. The antonym of that is to obey, to comply. That is antonym. Next one is also very easy. Loopholes. Loopholes. What is the meaning of the loopholes? It is used in sentence. They tightened the loopholes in the required acts. They tightened the acts. So what is the synonym of that? That is loophole. It, it is synonym is keyholes or alternatives. And the real meaning is an ambiguity or inadequacy in the law as a set of rules. There are loopholes to get over this. That means there are ways by which you can come out of that. That is known as loopholes. What is the opposite of that? And necessities, obligations. Necessities, or in other words, obligations, is very, very simple. Ram. Actually, Ram is a name in our say country, but this to be pronounced as a ram. Sentence is, you ought to ram your argument home in the conference. You ought to ram your argument in the conference. Ram means what? To push or to bang or to group them all together. Opposite of that is pushing it up. That is known as a ram. Next one is a word incredibly. 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 Incredibly is another word. Incredibly, it's an adverb. The usage of sentence is, the band was incredibly successful in the 80s. In Tamil, we used to say, I could not, so that Tamil likewise we used to say, the band was incredibly successful in the 80s. That is, beyond expectation, it was successful. So, what is the meaning of that? To a great degree, extremely. What are the synonyms? unbelievably, amazingly, amazingly. What are the antonyms of that? Probably, feasibly. Likewise, these are the two terms given as say antonyms of that one. Next one, not struck down. I think you must have heard this many times. The act was struck down. The act was struck down. So, what is the meaning of that? That means meaning is the synonym of that is defeated, defeated, or in other words, wrecked. WRECKED, wrecked. The usage in sentences, many people have been struck down by a heart disease. Many people have been struck down by a heart disease, or you can say many people have been struck down by plague or malaria, something like that. Then what are the synonyms we saw? Defeated or wrecked. Antonym is prosperous, prosperous. That is the, opposite of the uh, situation struck down. Next one is also easy. Intact. You must keep your things intact. Don't put it here and there. You must keep proper means. Say complete, undamaged, flawless, complete, undamaged, flawless. That is the synonym of the word intact. Usage is fortunately the singer's voice is still intact after her throat surgery. A singer was there, for her there was a throat surgery. In spite of it, she is singing nicely. Intact after her throat surgery, or we can also say, fortunately, the singer's voice is still intact even after her becoming old. For example, when we hear the voice of, say, Lata Mangeshkar in Hindi, then in Tamil we have P. Sushila, Janaki, and all. When we hear their voices, we feel that they are able to sing the same way. Then, what is the synonym of that? Complete, undamaged, flawless. What is the opposite of that? Damaged, or incomplete. Yeah. And the next word is tumble, tumble upon, tumble. What is the meaning of the word tumble? Tumble means to plunge, that is to get affected by that, to descend. Descend, that is to get into that. And the use in sentence is the child enjoys rough and tumble play. I mean, the child enjoys playing in such a way that even if the mother is angry, the child is playing in such a way that even if the mother, the opposite of that, tumble. Tumble means the figures tumble down. The stock exchange figures tumbled down. That means it came down. Opposite of that is peak, Peak, and rise, rise. And the next word is yeah. Next word is aplomb. 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 The B is silent there. We have to pronounce it that way. We use that, then only we will say that's wrong. It should be pronounced as aplomb. You see and the synonym of that is self assurance or self confidence or calmness. Aplomb. Sentence is, he delivered the speech with his usual aplomb. He was not affected by the problems in the crowd. He delivered the speech with his usual aplomb. That is calmness. The opposite of aplomb is negativing. And the next word is abridge. That's also easy word. Next word is abridge. ABRIDGE. Abridge means to bridge the gap. Abridge. It's a verb. The meaning is to shorten, to curtail, or abbreviate is the synonym. Abridge. Use in sentence. The abridged edition was published in 2000. A big book. The author wanted to present it in a short form. So he abridged it and presented it. That's what is the one. Very good. And the opposite of that is what? Antonym. Expand, enlarge, abridge, expand, opposite. Next word is amateur. Next word is AMATEUR. Amateur is the next word we are going to discuss. The word spelling AR. And sentence, he made an amateur attempt to build a cabinet. He made an amateur attempt to build a cabinet. Normally, when you say cabinet, what comes to my mind is a bureau-like thing. But this word cabinet can also mean formation of a ministry. It so happened once in Karnataka, Yediyurappa or so, he made an attempt to form a government, but then he had to come out within 5 or 6 days. So there it can be told, he made an amateur. What is the meaning of that? Being a beginner. Amateur means a beginner, a person who engages in a pursuit, especially a sport or an unpaid basis. Amateur means amateur dramatist, drama artist. That is, they engage themselves for the beginner. Then antonym is what? Expert or qualified, expert. See, an amateur artist is one who is doing for the first time or the few times from the beginning. But an expert artist is good. That was nice. So far we have seen 15 words. Very good. The next one is prelude. Next one, all these words are very important, and most of them have been taken from the, say, Hindu newspaper, and so they will be certainly of use for you in your examinations. Prelude. I think you must have heard about the word prelude. Prelude, the synonym is preface or prologue. Normally, in the books, whenever